Hey guys, welcome back to Project ZRA. Rishabh here with another reaction to Studio Gek and Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 22 in this case. Just finished recording. I was going to say actually that this might be a second marathon running podcasting sort of video, but by the time this episode drops, just so you know, I've been recording videos for the schedule over the coming 2 to 3 months. Actually, I had to realize that you're not actually going to know what's coming up until I mention it. But basically, all the way up through to July 2023, we have content lined up already. And so we've been recording. And the irony is that this episode with Attack on Titan Studio Gek is going to be dropped pretty much immediately within the next 24 hours. So I guess you can say stay tuned. But if you guys are interested in podcasting, that's going to show up. Now, I also want to mention, of course, this reaction might be a little bit down tempo. I just also got finished recording a video that's on a slightly heavier topic. And the irony of it covering betrayal. And, it's so funny because Attack on Titan has one of the greatest betrayal scenes of all. And I was just saying that's a great segue. But then I had to retake another recording because it was in MP4 instead of NKV. So then I couldn't mute the audio and I had to do it again. But needless to say, yeah, Attack on Titan has one of the greatest betrayal scenes of all time. So it's funny that we're mentioning that topic because that's kind of what I just got done recording a little bit about. And it doesn't really have to do with podcasting either. So it's so funny. Anyways, that'll be like released like 2-3 months down the road. So I apologize just in advance that to say, I'm probably not feeling as bombastic or joyful as it should be, or like all hype, when I'm watching this particular video, even though it can be pretty hype if you think about the revelations and the reveals. So without further ado, and of course, if you want to learn more about the relief shelter and what Project ZRA is all about, it's going to be fleshed out basically pretty much in every other episode, every other released podcast and video, slice of life in real life, IRL. One, self-therapy, self-recovery, not just on fulfillment and us sharing activities that we've enjoyed together for fulfillment. But it'll be fleshed out pretty much in every episode outside of reaction videos. So without further ado, 3x21 is where we're going to actually recapture a little bit because we had some issues previously and we were using a piece of software. I know there's a lot of administrative stuff for this video. I apologize. But the previous video that we tried to record on 3x21, you'll find is very, very choppy, incredibly choppy, because I was using a piece of software that was too taxing on the laptop. I have uninstalled it. That was Cyberlink UCam. We have tutorials for that software if it actually works for you guys. It's going to be being uploaded over the next coming month or so, right? Again, in advance. But that's what's going to be happening, and that's the piece of software that we uninstalled. So it should be fine now in terms of FPS and frame rates. Maybe a little bit choppy because I'm running it on a laptop, but still, that's okay. So it should be better, but I will say that we are going to recap the amazing scene with Eren Kruger and Mikasa and Armin's reveal. Their memories of Eren. Shouldn't have said that so soon, right? But yeah, spoiler alert, guys. Of course, this is a reaction to Studio Gek. So it's definitely more geared for people who have watched the show already and are watching the boys here, Carter Cannon, see for the first time. For example, Brig and McKay, they already know what's going on. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, without further ado, let's do it. Let's start off with 3x21, the last scene, the ending scene, and then we'll transition and hop over to 3x22, the last episode of season 3. Okay, let's go. And I should have had music playing the entire time. I apologize. Oh, it's just not quite right, huh? Let's go.
Whoa, okay.
Dude, it's because it was Dinah.
What? I was like, dude, better explain himself. Come on.
Bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
He's tripping right now.
Here we go. It's such a sick scene, by the way, how it starts to fade in the credits. And Nicholas Light was doing a reaction to this, and it was fucking amazing, right? But it's definitely one of those scenes to be remembered.
Gosh, this is so crazy, bro.
Look at Ken's face.
How does he know? Bro, he knows the future too? What?
Look at Jackson.
Wow. What the heck? What? Whoa. He literally said, whose memories are these? Yeah. So they can access memories of future people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. So they can get memories of future coordinates. Or future, not coordinates. Yeah. So they get the coordinate.
Attack Titan.
He's not the coordinate.
Okay. At this point, I kind of want to stop it because Jackson keeps repeating Attack Titan, and I'm like, you don't have to reveal that. It's supposed to be revealed when Grisha mentions it. So that's supposed to be a season 4 reveal. And all right, so let's stop that there for a moment. Yeah, I don't know whose memory scene always gives me crazy chills. Let's read the comments below. Basically, I left a comment down here. Can't remember where it was. My daily IV drip of studio get content. I'm addicted. Crazy how fast you guys reach season 4. Definitely the fastest reaction to this series I've watched so far. Pretty sure go to the scene. Build up 3 seasons. The face that Eren made while seeing it. Oh, okay, so you know what? Maybe I didn't leave a comment after all yet. That's fine then. But the point is there's a lot of discussion here. And what we're going to do now is just hop on over. We did do a reaction to their discussion, but because we've already reacted and reviewed it once, I don't know if I want to do it again. Let's see how long the timing is before they start episode 22. Looks like it's going to be like 5 minutes, so let's skip along a little bit here. Let's go. Let's hear what they have to say.
Not erasing memories. I guess. Seeing, being able to whatever he just did. I guess, yeah. Yeah, Dr. Yeager's Mikasa,
so
Armin,
that looks
the
so
F are you
creepy.
talking about? He's I don't know.
How does he have Eren's memories, bro?
I guess they can see.
I mean, hey,
Gotta loosen
that
up.
would go to my thing about Eren's dreams being connected through time.
Yo, that's crazy, How, well, I mean, let's be honest, guys. Who didn't expect that there was some sort of time-lapse thing going on there? In the first episode, when Eren wakes up and you see all those memories, well, sorry. We can confirm it's memories now. But, honestly, those eerie dreams that he had, you can't tell me you didn't anticipate something along the lines of time travel, right? But even so, the fact that Carr pointed out is pretty crazy. This guy's amazing when it comes to his predictions. And by the way, Briggs about to say something about that.
Yeah,
And Dr. Yeager knowing the future.
We just kind of realized his dreams are more so memories.
out of left field, dude.
Dude, from episode 1.
Season 1, you're just
Carter.
Eren's memories
Are connected
are
through
connected
time.
through time. I was just like,
Oh gosh. Well, they're not even dreams; they're just memories. Because while you're sleeping,
people in the comments too are
you're
just
remembering all that.
what the F is this guy? Is this guy a wizard? Is this guy a
Wizard.
god?
This guy hacking.
He went from the greatest
Carter's
prediction.
coordinate.
He went from the greatest prediction to. So Zeke is.
Zeke
Early
is
Eren's
our
dad
dad
right now.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Guys, we have to.
that's hilarious, though, that they bring up, the great predictions that they have, and then the dissension over into Zeke being so-and-so Eren's dad or whatnot,
It's a season right now.
Wow.
Well, now I know. Now I know what this is. Remember, I kept saying what is this sparrow picture?
Yeah.
I
Marley-
didn't remember.
Marley's
Bro,
there's so
prediction.
much undertone.
This show is
religious,
this show is so
political.
good. So okay,
So good.
Back, I gotta clear something real quick. Before
Oh, this is actually quite important for him. Talking about his general dislike of what was it, Rod Reis mentioned the history was. And I added some commentary to this, but it was cut off basically in like I said, the previous video just got cut off because I was recording in the wrong format. Or no, sorry, I was using software that was too taxing on the computer. So when it was trying to encode, basically it got lost. So I'll provide some more of my thoughts later on after let's let Carter speak, and then I'll divulge.
Now, back in episode 7, I believe, just pretty much, I guess, the whole start of the season. I can totally
depressed.
I can totally understand now why watching those for a second time, or like how all of this stuff is completely like supporting that stuff, because I was so upset, because I was like the beginning of this arc is like, or this season is just so, I was so mad. I was like, this is not it.
Oh, episode 7 of season 3.
Yeah, like
yeah,
the first,
pretty much the first 7
12 episodes.
Yeah, like
I didn't talk about season 1.
Like the first 7 episodes when Rod is like explaining the history, and I was like, that's not it. I was like, I pretty much, I think I said, I'm not accepting like those answers, and I was just like so mad. But I have to now take away that take and be like, if I went back now and watched the beginning of season 3, knowing where it's gonna go, it would be a complete 180 watching experience, watching those first ones, because these last few, knowing the real history, has been phenomenal. Like,
I just seen how confused they were when they thought that they knew. Like, dude,
Yeah.
Rod thought he knew for sure.
Right. So this is the beautiful part about it, right? You know, even many of the viewers watching this, right? You think you know what's going on, and then you give off some prediction that's way off the ball, right? And then you think about it. Same thing goes for the characters inside the show. So in a lot of cases, whatever seems so delusional or crazy to you as a viewer, honestly, your own predictions may seem quite delusional, crazy, down the road. And so the interesting thing, what Carter's about to mention here, is that basically by taking this direction, Isayama, right, the author, really took a risk, because this could be very off-putting for a lot of viewers. And then he decided to do it anyways, right? Expecting that would pay off greatly by the end of the season when the real truth gets out. And it does pay off really well. But what a creative direction, what a creative take this is. And Carter's able to point this out. This is something that, I would never have thought of personally. And, maybe I'm just like stupid here. But definitely for me, I haven't been looking at it from the angle of a director's take on how it would impact the audience and its marketability, right? The viability of the show would be impacted based off of the direction that you take the storyline and the plot. It could make a lot of people fall off the show, honestly, if it's not actually rewarding enough once it comes around, once the story comes around. So
For sure. He was like me thinking that Erwin's dad was the Beast Titan. He was 100% certain.
You guys are all grown up now. I'm seeing you in a different light.
different light.
You're no longer just little babies.
I was just so mad, bro. But now I completely get it. Because I was like, at first I was like knocking it. I was just like, bro, like this season is off to a not very good start.
Right, understandably so. I remember getting the same sentiment, honestly, when I first watched it. I said, these are weird tangents. They don't seem to tie together very well. But of course, how wrong I was.
It's just funny that they would make you go through that because I'm sure, like on the initial watch, right? Probably most people thought
they lose people for
the
sure.
same thing about like.
Dan just said it. He just spelled it out.
Right? Probably most people
just
thought,
spelled it out.
They lose people for
the
sure.
same thing about like, like it's kind of risky. But with the context of this now, it completely changes the beginning of season 3. Because I was gonna I was thinking about like, what would I say like overall about season 3 so far? These last few episodes have completely changed my opinion on season 3 as a whole. So I just had to clear that up.
All right, so that's that. I don't think I have to comment too much, honestly. He did a great job explaining himself, so let's just get right to it. But before we do, I want to keep in mind the time here. I see that it's 15 minutes in, and the show still has 10 minutes to go. So I'm going to try to not talk too much here and try to get through all this in half an hour. So let's go.
Wow, what a shot, man.
So good.
This gives me chills, bro.
Dude, you guys, I can't wait till you guys explain all this.
Dude, that is so insane.
Hold on, guys. Forget it. It's too much, man. It's too much to do a subpar reaction to this, man. It's not fair. It doesn't do the show justice. I am going to stop this. The reason why is because I noticed and I had forgotten, but basically every time I do a reaction, okay, no, every time I do a podcast, a video, sorry, I said reaction, I meant podcast and video, it's only supposed to be about 20 minutes long. So if I do this and it goes beyond 30 minutes, I'm going to kick myself. The most important part is actually because it's only 20 minutes long, I can actually do something else with the time right now and record 3x22 separately. And this scene here that we just had of Aaron Kruger and the discussion that Studio Gek just had is worthy in itself of being its own video. And why is that? It's because, again, the previous reaction was so scuffed. It was so messy. It was so choppy, low frame rate, and more importantly, it just didn't show the most important part, the most important scene of the episode. And it didn't show, because it was cut off, any of the discussion. So we can actually put this as a separate video, and that's fine, right? That'll make it 20 minutes. In fact, the reason why it's going to go for 20 minutes is because we're going to head on down and read some comments and discussion. I know that some of this will be covered in 3x22. We haven't watched that yet and punched out that video, but that's okay because all of us have pretty much watched Attack on Titan already. So again, spoiler alert for those who haven't, right? So we're going to read the comments now. And then we're going to basically chime in and leave a comment there as well. So, okay, from Golfus, I don't know whose memories those are. Scene always gives me chills. Final line, Eren delivers, if we kill every last one of our enemies out there, will we finally be free then? It's such a heartbreaking line. Agreed. He looks so empty in that scene and tired. The amount his character changes only in the span of a few episodes is fantastic character development. To say Mikasa, Marmin, and everyone else, Marmin, you must see it through. This line is so brilliantly written, it's quite hard to explain in words how perfectly it is done. Amazes me that you guys remember the dreams Eren had in episode 1. Like, you realize this isn't the first time we've seen some sort of memories transcending time in this show. For the record, you can see that Studio Gek actually reads their time. So Carter here is obviously, or one of the other boys here, is hearting these comments and is reading them. Season 1, episode 1, we see Eren dreaming, seeing things that haven't even taken place yet in the show. Also in the manga, Eren sees a short-haired Mikasa telling him, "See you later, Eren." And then he wakes up. He doesn't quite understand why Mikasa has longer hair than in the dream. Looking back at this now after season 4 is incredible. Hold on a second. I had to reread this. This is the first time we've seen someone. Okay, dreaming. Things aren't taking place. In the manga, short-haired Mikasa. See him, Lacey. Whoa. Holy shit. The manga. That reveals too much, huh? That's probably why anime really fucked up leaving that "why is your hair longer" quote out. Why did they do that, actually? Yeah, why did they leave that out, man? That's so critical. The face Eren made while seeing the sea breaks my heart. Thought they will freedom, but freedom to see the full picture, it's only the beginning of the end. He knows too much but can't share anything with anyone. Which we have to question, right? Could he have shared something? If you vary characters in this show with such a black and white mentality, you miss the entire point. What do you say? Deeply evil. Strength of this masterpiece lies in being able to change your perspective. The last portion isn't wrong, right? What he says about, being able to change your perspective, right? But this one is, I don't know about that. Yeah, by the way, I'm pretty sure the point wasn't wrong. Spoiler, don't, oh god, we're going to go into one of this. Going to be a lot in reaching that, absolutely. But calling evil throws out his entire character. Wow, this is going to be, there we go. So there we go, he's getting more of a side here. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. We're not going to go into that. That's going to be a long-ass conversation. Long-ass debate. The scene where Eren's trying to encourage Armin by reminding him about freedom that waits at home, but trails off when he remembers the image of Faye's body lying in the riverbed. One of the most heartbreaking scenes to me in the show. One of the first moments where you see Eren begin to realize that his dream for freedom may never come true. Shit. I think that's what we're going to comment. And I'm not going to do on the video because that would just make it way too long and drag it out. So I'm just going to call it quits right here and comment off the video. And then that will be included in the next video when we record 3x22. So thanks for tuning in. I know that it's not exactly what I thought I would do at the very beginning of this episode. I thought I was going to provide a 3x22, but we're not doing that. In fact, instead, all we're going to do is, a recap of the most important scene, some discussion they had, commentary on that, as well as reading through the discussion that they have, that the posts in the YouTube video have, and then that's it. Okay, and then there was a little bit of backdrop, of course, a little reveal about the future content up and coming on podcasting and so on and so forth. So thanks for tuning in. If you've been listening and watching, what did you find? How did you find this episode story? What kind of, who out of Studio Gek, the 5 boys here, if anything, who could you most relate to in terms of the reaction? Obviously, I understand that 3 of them have watched and 2 of them haven't. Is this your first time watching? Are you watching with them, alongside them? Are you just experiencing this for the second, third time? And so you're more along the lines of Brig and McKay, they're sniggering and so on and so forth, And how'd you find the amazing scene with Eren Kruger and Armin Mikasa? So that's it. You can also leave your thoughts and comments about other people's comments here as well. Obviously, we went through some comments here I thought were quite important, including that crazy one right there. That is fucking nuts here. I didn't know that in the manga that Mikasa repeats a quote, "See you later, Eren," in short hair, and then that's in episode 1. I didn't know that at all. It might have been a choice from Isayama to change the anime. It might not have been. I'm not sure whose creative direction and decision that was. Yeah, that's it. So the next one will cover the rest of the video here, which is season 3, episode 22. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rishiv. I'm signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.